Hey, in this video we're going to learn how to do inward bass. If this video helps you get the sound, like, comment, subscribe, and someone share it with Collapse because I've heard he's been trying to learn inward bass for a long time. To do inward bass, all you gotta do is chest bass, but inwards. Just kidding. Obviously there's a reason why a lot of people can do chest bass, but they can't do inward bass, so that's the question we're going to answer in this video. Technically, inward bass is just chest bass, but inhaling instead of exhaling. The vibration happens in the same area. So the reason why the inwards vibration is so much harder to get than the outwards vibration is there must be an asymmetry in the system. There are a lot of plausible throat geometries where this asymmetry could occur. Let's take a look at a simple hypothesis. Here we're looking at the pharynx, or what's commonly referred to as the throat in beatboxing. It's the area between the back of your mouth and start of your voice box. As you can see, in this model, when exhaling, the air will pass through the area you want to vibrate, then get pushed out of your mouth. However, when inhaling, the air gets pulled over and past the vibration area, missing it completely. There seems to be some debate about what this vibration area actually is, whether it's the false folds epiglottis or arytenoid cartilage. So I'm just going to call it the vibration area for the sake of this tutorial to avoid potentially adding to misinformation and unnecessarily making beatbox into some science of naming things. What I can say, however, is inward bass does not happen down here. After your voice box is just a tube going into your lungs. Unless you have a genetic mutation, there's nothing physically down there to vibrate. I believe the common misconception is due to poor anatomical awareness and possibly confusions with the vibrating feeling of resonance. So if we believe our hypothesis about the system of our throat and understand how this asymmetric geometry works, our goal is to simply move our vibration area into the path of our airflow when inhaling. So let's do exactly that and try to get the basic inward bass. Step 1. Say huck inwards. Step 2. From the place where the back of your tongue catches at the back of your mouth after the previous step, pull the back of your tongue back and down slightly so a small gap appears going into your throat. Step 3. Take 2 fingers and feel the area right above where your Adam's apple is. You should find a small region that goes in slightly right above where your voice box is. Your voice box is this sort of thicker area that your Adam's apple protrudes from. On the other hand, this sunken in region is basically where the vibration area is in your pharynx. You should feel it's similar to where your chest bass occurs. Step 4. We're now going to manually constrict and position the vibration area into the path of your inhaling airflow so it produces a vibration. Once you've found the sunken in region right above your voice box, very gently squeeze and push up and inwards on the sunken in region while inhaling in the position from step 2. Make sure you're actually squeezing and pushing into the tube of your pharynx and not just squeezing and pushing into the skin on the underside of your jaw. You should feel a bit of resistance. The type of inhaling you should do is like saying an inwards ha. You'll want to look for a vibration where you're squeezing and pushing, and may need to play around with the position of the back of your tongue, how much you squeeze, and how much you push up and inwards. It should not require a lot of air, so don't force it. When you first start out, you'll likely find the back of your tongue getting pulled back up to an inward K position and catching on your soft palate like in step 1. I believe this is akin to a reflex to prevent yourself from inhaling saliva. You'll want to slowly work past this fear, keeping your breathing controlled to avoid accidentally choking on your own saliva. Once you find the vibration, you've basically learned inward bass with training wheels. I don't recommend moving forward until you get this step. Step 5. Maintain the vibration without using your hands. I think this is the step that requires the most amount of grinding. A lot of beatboxers will tilt their head to twist or bend their pharynx in a way that causes their vibration area to properly interact with their inhaling airflow. Essentially, this movement acts as a replacement for the pressure we manually applied with our hand. I found the commonly seen degree of movement isn't necessary, and you can activate the inward bass vibration with a subtle nod and coordinating the root of your tongue. And with that, you should have learned how to inward bass. Parting thoughts. There's a lot of variations and techniques like high vocalized inward bass, D-low inward bass, 2H inward bass, and B-art inward bass roll, which I'll link tutorials to in the description. You should obviously also check out Vocoder and Inertia, who have some of the craziest inward bass combos and flows currently. The last thing I want to mention before I go is inward bass is very different from inward vocal fry bass. While inward bass feels like chest bass inwards, inward vocal fry bass feels like, well, vocal fry inwards. Here's a comparison. The vibration of inward vocal fry bass is a lot smoother and, for me, more natural. I even came up with my own variation that adds an overtone. A good way to tell the difference between these two is to try and laugh ha 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 inwards. It's a lot easier with inward bass to separate the ha's than with inward vocal fry bass. Anyways, good luck and see you in the next one.